Hello, this is Dave Stewart, the editor of Mainely Motorsports TV. A few weeks ago, Sandy Haley posted some things about Steve Perry on the Facebook page, Racing Person of the Week. Here are a few words from what she wrote that we thought would be appropriate on this week's show, the 400th episode. Steve Perry has been involved in racing more than the average person. Steve has been a pit crew member. Steve has been a driver. Steve has been a race car owner. Steve is the owner and promoter of the Northeast Motorsports Expo in Augusta, Maine. Steve is a star of his own television show, Mainly Motorsports TV. Steve is also a proud dad, having watched his daughter Alicia race karts in her Legends car. And most of all, Steve is a family man. I would say Steve has done just about all of it. It's people like Steve that have such a passion for racing that has helped to make it as successful as it is here in Maine and Northeast. It takes a lot of time, money, and effort to keep you all updated on what's happening in the racing world. And Steve has accomplished this over the years. So the next time you see Steve at a racetrack near you, take a few minutes to go thank him for all he has done and all he is doing for local short track racing here in Maine, New England, and beyond. Congratulations on your 400th show, Steve. Here's to your next 400 and your continued success.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports. I'm your new owner and host, Steve Perry. I'd like to welcome back Marco Thomas to be my co-host for what proves to be very exciting times coming up for Mainly Motorsports.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy there that you've decided to purchase this thing.
No, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, Mark. Well, I'm excited. I've talked to a lot of people that are excited for me. It'll be different, you know, it's a new challenge, but I think we'll have some fun with it.
And while I'm sure that a lot of the best elements that we've seen in the past of Mainly Motorsports will remain, I think Steve's ready to take it to a new level, and I'm looking forward to being involved.
Yeah, obviously we're going to, you know, both our hearts lie in the auto racing end of the, you know, motorsports division, but if it's got a motor and it runs, we're going to get out there and cover it and have some fun and do some different things.
And from what I understand, Steve, you plan to up the schedule a little bit in the summertime and get back to weekly production during the stock car racing season.
Yeah, we'll be doing a weekly. We'll be making appearances, obviously, at all the tracks in Maine, maybe branch down a little bit into the New Hampshire area. Still cover some other things on the Fridays and Sundays, but you know, we want to get back and, you know, the way it used to be, and you know, really do some serious coverage of everything that's going on out there. Yeah, or anything. I mean, ice racing, motocross, because obviously this is all new to me and Marco. So, you know, if you've got something going on and exciting and you think we'd have interest in covering it, don't hesitate to contact us, because we'll do what we can do to, you know, get what you're doing, your series, anything you're trying to do, promote it and get it out there on Mainly Motorsports. Thank you all for watching our first episode. We'll get better.
We promise.
See ya.
Well, welcome to this very special edition of Mainly Motorsports. As you know, this is the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports, so we thought we would surprise Steve and take a little walk around the Northeast Motorsports Expo and touch base with some people that Steve has had a relationship with over the years and just get their thoughts on this special edition of Mainly Motorsports. And by the way, Steve, congratulations from me and my family on 400 episodes. It's a tremendous achievement, and wish you many more. Bruce Wainwright from Beach Ridge Motor Speedway.
Congratulations, Steve. 400 shows. It's a great accomplishment. Good luck in the future.
I'm Emma Libby from Speedway 95, racing sportsman this year. I want to thank everything that Steve's done for this show and Mainly Motorsports, and I want to congratulate him on his 400th episode.
How's it going? My name is Alex Lacagnata. I'm an occasional co-host on Mainly Motorsports. I really can't say enough about Steve and his 400th show. I think it's just awesome what he's done for the sport of auto racing the past few years that he's been doing the show. He's had me on. He's had a bunch of other young, hopeful kids come up, and just gives them a chance to be able to get in the limelight a little bit. I really appreciate everything he does for the sport. Steve has a heart of gold, and I think anybody who knows him will tell you that. So congratulations, Steve, from all of us at Mainly Motorsports and everybody in the Maine racing community.
The Wolfettes have something to say to you.
We put our phones down long enough to say, congratulations.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin from Beach Ridge Motor Speedway. Steve, congratulations on your 400th episode. It's an amazing accomplishment. I mean, to watch you where you've come, to where you continue to take motorsports in Maine, New Hampshire, and all throughout New England. You've really just made the show just totally sing. And on a personal level, you're probably the only person that could talk me onto a lawnmower that you sat on, because I'm just being kind here, we're a bit differently sized. But to think that where I could fit, you could fit, and it would work out well, that's why the lawnmower ran over me. But hey, it was good TV, wasn't it? Congratulations on 400, and to another 400, and then another 400.
And we're here now with Thursday Thunder driver and champion Jeff Walker.
Steve, congratulations on 400 episodes. It's really great what you do for everyone, and we all definitely enjoy the programming, and keep up the good work.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We're starting our end-of-season sale now. This is our biggest selection ever. Fifth wheels with savings up to $20,000. Big selection of toy haulers starting at only $19,999. 2015 Trail Runner bunkhouses with super slides and island kitchens for only $199 per month. Motorhomes, truck campers, and more. Financing available. Trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine. Don't let the other guys rough you up. Shop online at otmotorsales.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, two of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership, Route 1 Saco.
Well, Dan Walker, thank you for, and there's a lot more of that to come, but what a great idea when you borrowed the camera guy and the microphone and went around up there at the Augusta Civic Center. It was, you know, and I've seen it, you know, so it's good for the audience to see the rest of them, but yeah, it's pretty neat, you know.
Well, thanks. It was, I think the idea just came, might have been, we were coming back from, I believe, doing a little Christmas shop, and I was trying to think of something to do that, you know, might add, you know, to the specialness of this particular episode, and you know, to the longevity of the show itself and the efforts that you put in. And thank you to all the people that participated in that. The hardest part was, you know, trying to keep you away from it for 2 days, and
yeah,
try to. I mean, you knew I was doing something, but you didn't know what. And thanks to everybody who participated. Some of them were pretty funny, and
yeah,
some of them had a little inside stuff in them. But overall, I was
and it was pretty neat. And the ones that we just showed, I want to touch on a couple of them. You know, and you know, young, old, all over the map. But you know, Alex Lockignata, you know, he's come on the show. We had him on as a guest after winning the DT 100, and you know, we became a friendship, and it was a kind of a standing joke that Alex was my best friend, you know, and everybody used to tease me about my best friend being 30 years younger than me, but you know, and that's the situation of, you know, what Mainly Motorsports, you know, some of the things it allowed me to do is meet these young kids and you know, get to know them as people, you know, as young adults, and watch Alex mature, and you know, now he's off to college, and you know, he was a lot of fun to have on the show, and I thought he did a lot of good things. And another one that, you know, that you got in this first part was Andy Austin. And you know, Andy Austin's, you know, he's a historian when it comes to this thing, as we saw him at the auction bidding on the old programs. And I'll tell you, you know, it means a lot to me when, you know, when we put an episode on and something, you know, hits him, and he doesn't have to like every episode, he doesn't have to like everything that happens, but when something that really hits him that he enjoys, he texts me, right, you know, Wednesday night, you know, Hey, Steve, nice job with so-and-so, or nice job on that, or wow, I didn't know that, or you know what I mean, wow, nice job. And stuff like that means a lot, because I respect Andy Austin in his position as track announcer at Beach Ridge Speedway.
And Andy was fabulous in doing this piece, and it would have been real easy for him to just grab the microphone and say something, but he actually took, if I remember right, a good 10 or 15 minutes to think about exactly what he wanted to say. As did everybody in the piece. I mean, everybody just put some really good thought into it, and I tried to mix it up a little bit. I know you've had a business relationship with some of the people involved in the piece, and I know some of them are your friends, and got some family members in there and stuff. So I tried to mix it up a little bit, and I think it came out good, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, no, and it's neat because we're going to sprinkle them in throughout the episode. But we talk about 400 episodes of something, and like I talked a couple weeks ago. You take a sitcom, they only show you 26 episodes a year, 13, and they repeat, then 13, and another repeat. So John Crawford started it. He got to show 90, and then I took over at 91, and you saw some highlights earlier of my first show, and yeah, I thought it was easy. You just sit and talk, like I do all the time, but it is, and you try to make everybody happy, but you also want to, not that we try to be controversial. I can be controversial in everyday life, but we try to give everybody their due, and it's been a great time, and some of the people that really helped me from the beginning was the Time Warner people. They I went up there and they took me under their wing, and Trudy and Gomez and Bob and Vinny, and then Jim Walker. Jim Walker was just huge and with ideas and suggestions. And then, as their cost went up and, the economy really took that change, and then everybody, like, what's the first thing that everybody cuts? Advertising. Yeah, what's the show operate on? Advertising. So,
exactly.
It's no shame to admit I was in trouble. I couldn't afford to keep going. I was going deeper and deeper in the hole. And this guy from Down Cellar Productions, we call him, Dave Stewart, he'd sent me emails that just, hey, if you ever need any help. And finally I reached out and I said, dude, I need some help. And, we put a show together. I remember our first show was a half-hour, tribute to Jeff Letelier. It was, with Kendra Smith. And, we did that, and he just, it's been with me ever since. We took everything from Time Warner. He's edited it Down Cellar, and and we've learned together, and it's he talks about it all the time. He goes back and looks at when he first did his first show ever to where he is now. And I mean, we're not Nesson, we're not ESPN, we're not CNN. I mean, we're just a bunch of local people. Like, I grab yourself, I grab Greg, and some of the people, a lot of people have really helped out a lot along the way. The different co-hosts. Obviously start with Marco, and then I'll never forget the letter from the little blonde girl I got. Hey, my name is Amanda Leach, and a nice email, and I'm like, she made it sound like I was something, like, she don't even know what she's walking into, and but yeah, so spend time with Amanda, and then
didn't you have Travis Barrett for a little?
Yeah,
bit?
we had Travis Barrett, some different, I mean, all walks of life, and then the guest ones, I mean, we've had a lot of different guests, and it is, and I think about it all the time is, it's the only show I know that gives, whether it's a kid, an older gentleman, a wife, I mean, everything, it gives them the chance to be a part of it. So
yeah, it's the longevity is amazing with a show like this, and again, racing motorsports, it can be tremendously rewarding, but nothing about this sport is easy. And like you said, you were hanging on. You thought it was going to be easy. It's not, and just a tip of the hat to everybody involved, from John Crawford to you today for keeping it going, and the people that support the show with their advertising dollars. It's all so important, and I know the racing people out there certainly appreciate everything that goes on here.
No, and it is, and we talk about the advertisers, and you see the scroll that's running across the bottom of the screen, and everybody gets attracted to it. You just happen to look at it. And I got a couple of them scrolls that have been on. When I took the show over in 2007, I think it was 2007, I had a couple of them advertisers that have been, were already on the show, and they stuck with me. Pat Man's Redemption and K&G Auto Sales. And then when you talk about the ones on the TV behind us, I remember Sean Moody coming to me, just wanted to help me out because I had done some work for them years ago with a gravel pit, and bought a little $200 advertising package, and it's grown and grown and grown and grown. So I appreciate all the sponsors and encourage whether it's the viewers of Mainly Motorsports or participants at a racetrack or anything, to support any sponsor that is involved in motorsports, because it's what allows this show to be on. It's what allows the off-season shows to take place. It's what allows your race car to hit the track, you know?
It is. It's a sponsor-driven business, and I think race people are very, very loyal and adamant, and they support those people that support the sport. One of the things in this piece that I wanted to get done was I wanted to touch base with Sean Moody when I saw him at the show, but there were other things going on with the camera and stuff at the time, and by the time the camera got freed up, he had already left. So
well, hopefully he's around for the 800th
yeah,
episode.
you
He's
know
still
what?
advertising.
He must be happy with what he's doing, because he's a loyal supporter and a good guy, and you know, we need more people around like him.
No, you're right, but I appreciate everything you did, and we got another co-host that's in the building with us right now. We couldn't fit all three of us on screen. Well, we do, but I mean,
we could have.
Yeah,
somehow.
He just makes us look small, and that's Greg. So I want to get his thoughts on the whole process. And you know, he's been here a long time, and he's probably went to the top as far as being a co-host. You know, past some of the other ones. But I appreciate it again, and we'll have you back later and give you and Greg your own segment this week to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
That could be dangerous.
I don't worry about nothing. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
We're back on the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports, and we're here with another Maine racing legend and New England racing legend, Bobby Turner.
Thank you, Dan.
You are here on the 400th episode, Steve Perry 400 episodes. Quite an accomplishment, huh?
Oh, it certainly is, and Southern Maine needs a show like that, because we don't have papers or newspapers anymore, and he does a great job, and I watch it basically about every week. If I don't, I tape it.
We're here with Hall of Fame member Bruce Elder, and Bruce Elder would like to speak about the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports, and Steve Perry.
All right, thank you, Dan. Yeah, I think it's amazing that way up here in the north that Steve Perry has kept this show going now. How many years? This is probably 27th, maybe. And, of course, the Mainly Motorsports TV program, which really carries the banner for racing in Maine and beyond, is also a tribute to the commitment that Steve has made, and certainly want to congratulate him on the longevity of Mainly Motorsports, and just to keep up that effort, and a lot of hurdles to cross, but he's been able to do that. So certainly heartfelt congratulations to Steve on that special 400th episode.
How you doing? This is Dan McKegg. We're hanging out here in Augusta at the show, and I wanted to congratulate Steve Perry on his 400th episode. We appreciate all he does for the coverage of motorsports here in Maine and New Hampshire, and more than that. So thanks, Steve Perry. It's been a pleasure working with you, and look forward to many more episodes to come.
We're now here with John Peters, Pro Series driver at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
Steve, I just want to say congratulations on your 400th episode. You've helped me out so many times throughout my career, and without you, I really would not have been racing this year. Thank you for everything that you've done, and with the show, and everything comes out just so professional, and it gives us racers a chance to really demonstrate what we do and promote our sponsors. So for that, thank you very much, and congratulations.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf.
And I'm Dan Wolf. We've been selling and servicing vehicles on Route 25 in Gorham since 1972.
Wolf Auto Service offers state inspections, tires, brakes, and suspension.
21st Century Motors has a great selection of cars and trucks starting at $29.99.
With no mortgage and low overhead, we sell and service at guaranteed lowest prices.
We're just 6 miles west of Turnpike, exit 47 on Route 25 in Gorham. Online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 9 locations in Maine.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Well, that was it was neat. We just caught up with 4 more. I don't want to call them loyal viewers, but people that do pay attention to Mainly
People who's paid
Motorsports.
attention, yeah.
You know, one of them, Dan McKegg, and Dan is, you know, a huge supporter of the show, you know, through advertising and anything. You know, he's the first one whenever I need any help at any shows or anything I'm doing to volunteer his services or anybody involved with his services, and, you know, and then, you know, I talk a lot about the young kids and watching their maturity. You know, we talked about it last time, and as John Peters, I mean, you just hear it in his voice, you hear it all, and, you know.
I've been telling people that John Peters is ageless, above, you know what I mean? He's above his age.
You know, and those are the things, you know, and all facets of life that I've really enjoyed about this show. And one of the things that it hit me, and I think it really hit me when what I'm doing and you know, and how it is pretty special, was the year Joey Polachek won the Oxford 250. You know, years past, I'd been out there and trying to fight with all the other media and get the interviews, and, you know, they all just, you know, okay, you won the race, Eddie, tell us how you did it, and then they all get the same answer. So then I said, you know what, I don't want these guys' answers, I want my answers, I want my questions. So I'd waited, and that's when we first took the setup and did our thing, and so I waited till they all got done over in tech and everything, and Joey walked over, you know, and got to sit down with Joey, who just won the biggest race of his life, and talked to him for 7.5 minutes. Obviously about the race, but obviously about other things and what it meant. And it was that night that it hit me. I'm like, you know what? You know, it might be a little local yokel show with a fat guy that, you know, shirt's untucked and drooling, or you never know if his hair's a mess, or it looks like on the show that he's just asleep because I'm taping at 2 in the morning or whatever. But that's when it hit me, like, you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks about it. I don't care what their thought process is. You know, I like what I do. And someday maybe I'll get where some people think I need to be. But right now I'm happy because people like Joey Pole, you know, other people like Austin Terrio, the young kids, the older ones, Mike Rose of the world, they've given me their time to come on the set. And, you know, and then, you know, that's just my take.
Yeah, and, you know, it's kind of funny because I rode down here with Dan, and we were actually talking about Joey Pole on the way here. And, Joey Pole's probably going to be at the Oxford 250 this year, wouldn't you say, with all the things that have turned? So we're going to have 2 guys racing in the Oxford 250 who this will be the first defense of their title.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been back since he won, has
he?
he?
No, exactly. And, you know, and then, you know, the whole show, and, you know, I mean, I always knew you from racing, and, you know, one day, and let's face it, and this is me, and anybody that knows me, this is me, right? You know, last minute, I'm in a bind, I'm going to Augusta, need the show, need the co-host. Hey, what are you doing? Well, you want to go to Augusta?
Because you knew I was unemployed.
Yeah, I knew you were unemployed. I needed somebody that could fill a seat. That's all. You didn't even have to talk. Just fill the seat, you know? And so, yeah, and anybody that knows me, you know, it's one thing I'll always promise anybody that comes into the life of Steve Perry. I'll promise you a wild ride. Don't know where that ride's going to end up, but it's going to be a wild ride. Am I right? You never know what's going to happen, what's next, and
I'll never forget, like, the first episode. I didn't know what to expect, what was going on or anything like that. And you, like, literally picked me up, and I'm like, so what are we going to talk about? I don't know. We'll talk about something when we get there, you know? So, and then we get up there, and I had a black
T-shirt like you do today.
Black T-shirt on, and I had a white shirt underneath it. Like, I can't remember if it was long.
And we had a cigarette burn hole.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it got caught on something, but the guy, because we were at Time Warner at the time, and it was like a production, you know. I mean, Dave does a great job, but that was
3 cameras,
they
and
had
we were
3 cameras.
Yeah, we were
and
doing it on like almost live.
And so the guy comes out of the booth, and he's like, "Hey, there's some white spot on Greg's chest, and we can't figure it out." And so we looked down, and there's a little hole, and
so I grabbed a Sharpie and went like this,
colored it in,
colored his T-shirt. Like, does that work? And then we had to pull it up because I wanted to color it bigger dot. So some of the stuff that goes on, you know.
And this is
so it's nice to see that he's dressing a little better.
Yeah, well, I get free T-shirts from you now.
But no, and yeah, there's just so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and you know, and if it wasn't for people like you, and you know, I'll never forget Dave got one of his first episodes, you know, and you know, it kind of tricked him in. We had a lot of fun, and I said, you know, it's better than this is better than sitting home, ain't it? A lot better than sitting home with your wife today, huh? And he's like, oh, yeah, dude, sitting home there, that drives me crazy, you know? She watched it that night with him, you know? So he's like, he called me up the next day, he goes, you baited me, didn't you? And I'm like, no, Dave, I would never do that. But no, it is, and we have had a lot of fun, and I want to continue the fun, you know?
Yeah, and some of the things that I've done, I probably wouldn't have done without being involved with you, you know? I mean, I'm always going to be around racing and stuff like that, but you call me a month in advance. Hey, let's go to the Snowball Derby. We're going to cover the Snowball Derby, you know, and you've continued to go. I haven't gone back since, but we do stuff like that, you know.
Well, and it does. It opens some doors for you, you know what I mean? Now I go down there and I feel like I got to, you know, I mean, I don't get Christmas cards from him, and I don't send them, so he ain't getting them from me. But, you know, Tim Breyer, we have a mutual respect for each other, and, you know, and that's the case with all the promoters, you know. I really respect what they do, you know, because they give me that freedom, you know, to bring their racers back to the TV.
And that's, you know, that's another thing, you know, even on this level, going into Speedway 95 for the first time, and, you know, I'll be standing there since I've gone with you and I've met Dell or whoever was promoting at the time, you know, and I was up there for the past Sportsman race with Dan, and Dell pulls up with his truck, hey, what's up, you know, and stuff. Yeah. So it's just circumstances like that, you know, running into people, you know, going to Wisconsin and Ken Minot being like, hey, what's up, Greg? It's just a different scenario.
Yeah.
And
you know, the one thing we've never accomplished, we've never got anybody engaged or married. And to my recollection, but I'm not done yet.
You know what else you haven't got accomplished?
What?
You haven't got me in a race car yet.
Oh, yeah, but the other thing that I haven't accomplished yet, I don't think, but I'm not done, is I haven't got anybody divorced. I ain't got them married, but I ain't got them divorced, right?
No, but I mean, you know my girlfriend, and
yeah,
you guys have hung out and stuff like that. But there are times when you make her mad. Hey, Greg, let's go here, and I'm off. And
so I make her mad.
Well, sometimes.
Oh, that's all right. You know why? And I don't care because I ain't gonna live with her, right? I don't have to listen to her, and even if she wants to flap her jaw, I ain't listening. That's your problem.
Yeah, but I mean,
right?
She thinks you're great.
No, I know. I'm just teasing Missy. I don't. You know.
You talk to the camera like she actually watches the show.
No. Well, hey, remember we found out, you know, Sue used to always say she never watched it, right?
Yeah, now
yeah.
Dan...
Sue lays in bed and can't wait for my voice.
Right.
Like, and I know there's a lot of women out there when my voice comes on, close their eyes. And their husbands think they're closing their eyes because they like, oh, great, here we go again. What they're really doing is they're visualizing that that's not their husband laying next to them, it's me watching Mainly Motorsports with them, making them feel like they're part of the game. Right? You agree with me?
Maybe.
Yeah, right.
What's your favorite episode with Greg Emerson?
My favorite one with Greg?
I know my favorite episode.
My favorite one is the one that I had to tone way down with you because you freaked out.
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. When I had it all and I did everything with a straight face.
No.
And like you, like...
That's all we got to say.
Nope, you acted like a little scared schoolgirl. Oh, you got all wimpy.
Listen, sometimes you got to walk the line.
Oh, I didn't walk the line that time, right?
You cut the line.
I cut the line and ran over it, and I needed binoculars to look back and see where the line was.
I was hanging off the line trying to pull myself out of the gutter.
No, that was funny, though. You had to admit. That was funny.
Probably the funnest
So if anybody
episode.
ever wants to know about the Thanksgiving one that never hit the air, ask me. I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, too, off the air, but I'm not putting it on public.
Yeah, no, it was good. But what was your favorite one?
The Thanksgiving one.
Oh, the Thanksgiving one. For what reason? Because we talked about food.
Because it was fun.
Yeah, it was good. But we have had a lot of fun, you know, and it is, you know, sometimes it gets trying and it gets a little, I'm under the stress and trying to get it all done and everything else
Especially,
I do.
you know, I mean, obviously, we have the 400th episode we're taping, you know, right now and stuff like that. But this time of year, like a month before the Augusta show to probably a week after the Portland show. And this year, we're actually throwing in, we're going to go down to the Races Expo.
Races Expo.
But you're just stressed to the max. And people keep asking you if you need help, but you don't, until you actually...
Well, because I don't know.
Yeah.
You get the phone call. That's how it works.
I know. And so... But I mean, this is the tough part of the year because you have the other two shows and stuff. But
yeah,
we get through it.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. And then we hit number 400. I mean, that's quite a feat for a guy with no vision and really.
I know you come on at show 91. When did I come on?
I don't know.
Can Dave look that up in the archives?
Why don't you do something for once?
I don't do nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly, exactly. You just heard it here.
So wait a second. You were talking about you've never got anybody married on the show?
I don't think so.
What about Sue and Dan?
Are they getting married because of the show?
I don't know. Probably.
Well, I know she is marching down to the Mainly Motorsports theme music, which is pretty unique. So maybe we'll get a little footage that day. But we're going to take a break. We come back, and I'll give you and Dan your shot.
Oh, boy.
I did not grow up in the car business. I started as a technician in a small garage, and now lucky enough to own my own dealership. I think buying a new car should be hassle-free with pricing up front. We like to negotiate with everyone the same way. Our goal is for our customers to feel good and make it easy and quick if they so desire. We pay our sales staff to help satisfy your needs, not to collect a traditional commission.
Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Maine's only Viper dealer, Route 1, Saco.
Award season event is going on now.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We're starting our end of season sale now. This is our biggest selection ever. Fifth wheels with savings up to $20,000. Big selection of toy haulers starting at only $19,999. 2015 Trail Runner bunkhouses with super slides and island kitchens for only $199 per month. Motorhomes, truck campers, and more. Financing available. Trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the Southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Clark's Car Crushing, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid.
Well, welcome back. Now you have Dan Walker and I. This is the co-host segment.
I'm not sure what's going on
And
here.
we're just going to chum it up.
Yeah. Just wing it. That's what Steve does.
Yeah.
Like, did you get a phone call like 20 minutes before you wanted to come tape this? And say, hey, can you meet me down here and like do this show?
You know what's funny is I saw him at the past banquet the Friday before, and he's like, hey, we're going to do the 400th episode. I go, okay, what are we doing? Who's doing what? Because we had talked, had some ideas. I knew that you put that piece together at Augusta. I mean, because obviously I was on it, and you came up and, mentioned it and stuff. So I knew that was going to be some filler, and so and Steve knew that you did something, but he didn't know what, and he was actually grilling me at the past banquet. He's like, hey, what did Walker do? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, nothing, just a little something. Dave knows the time. Don't worry about it, So we, he told me, oh, well, I'll get a hold of you. So I'm waiting. And then the next sentence he tells me about this snow plowing gig that he's got, right? And then he tells me about it. Well, we happen to get a storm. So I'm like, oh, boy, when are we going to... Steve's going to be a wreck. We're going to be taping the 400th episode. It's going to look like he's up at the crack ass of dawn, and his hair's going to be a shambles and everything. So
he's like a stray bullet. You just don't know where it's going to land.
He's hit so many pieces of tin on the way out through.
So what did you think of the Steve Perry package?
I thought it was pretty good, actually. I mean, some of the things. I mean, some of them are priceless, really, honestly. But some of them are really good. The McKay kids, that was pretty cool. So
yeah, we kept it from him obviously until I think today.
Yeah,
I think it's the first time that he saw it. So it was fun to do. But yeah, you just never know with the guy when the phone's gonna ring and you're going on a roadie or if you got to come down to the pit and meet me out in the back 40 because I guess I want to throw by you or it's I don't know what to make of it.
Obviously, I don't even have a clue how many episodes that I've done. I mean, we've been trying to change it up, and I haven't been consistent the last year or so. But we have done So we've moved around so many times. We're in the new studio now.
Yes, this plush,
I mean,
but not too overly ostentatious studio here.
Yeah, I was talking, you and I were talking before we started this, and I started with him. We went to Augusta. And like I said, honestly, swear to God, I think the only reason he tapped me to help him was because he knew I was unemployed. And he knew I'd work for free lunch, So I started going to Augusta with him. And then I can't remember where we went next, but when Dave started doing the production, since then, since Augusta, let's just break it down. We've done it from his garage. Obviously, for a little while there, we didn't have anywhere to go, so we were doing on-sites. We did it from his office at the gravel pit the last couple years.
Whatever happened to the trailer?
Wasn't
there a trailer?
Yeah, we actually did it in the trailer in his driveway.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times.
It's like a camp. Like
and then it started getting cold, so we
something.
moved it into his garage, and he had Brick hook up a salamander. So, we worked out of the trailer, worked in his garage, worked out of his office. We were in the Peppermill campus, where we are now again, for a time being, and then now we're back here. Obviously, we had the live crowd episode, which I thought was cool. That was at the Augusta Civic Center.
You've sat in that chair for a lot of episodes. At some point, there's got to be some Steve Perry dirt somewhere. There's got to be some bloopers or something tucked away somewhere. Do we need to call TMZ? They're pretty good at finding soft balls. Maybe they can find this for us.
Steve and I have talked about blooper episodes, but honestly, it's not for the general public.
I'm sure Dave would have to do some serious editing with
Dave
that
could
stuff
probably
like
sell
that.
them. We could probably sell them. So no, but it's been crazy. It's been fun. Like, I know you've been helping over the last few years and stuff. So, what is one of your funnest things that you've done since you've been tied in with Steve in the show?
Well, the Augusta show, I was able to get involved with that last year.
Yeah.
And just helping out a little bit, not too much.
Oh, that's the thing.
And seeing how that evolves and
right. People don't realize. Oh, you're one of Steve's co-hosts. Yeah. Well, you're at his mercy. Not necessarily. He's not necessarily going to put you to work, but you're pretty much at his mercy at the Augusta show and the Portland show.
They don't realize what comes with that.
Oh, I know.
It's a phone call. It's a text message. It's having somebody's car towed during the auction. It's hey, take a picture of this. Here's the signal.
Yeah.
It's things like that. And I'm wondering if Steve's wife Leanne actually holds her breath at 8 o'clock every Wednesday, just wondering what's going to come out of his pie hole when their show comes on the air. Because literally, if somebody could sell the outtakes.
Yeah, it would. One of my, what we're talking about, I led you into that because I wanted to talk about one of my favorite things that I've done since being on here. Obviously, Steve has put me on the spot at the Oxford 250 when I wasn't doing anything, with a team or anything. Put me on the spot. Hey, we're going to do interviews. We're going to do this. Gather up these media people because we're going to do a media pool pick and stuff, just stuff like that. But one of my favorite things is always the 250 as far as doing the show. A few years ago, we had Joey Carafas on. Now, I remember as a kid watching Joey Carafas race.
I remember that episode, yeah.
And he was into the later parts of his career and stuff. But he come up to the set before we even started shooting anything, and Kenny Lamb did the bit with him. He wanted to do the interview with Joey Carafas. And I just, was standing there, and I ended up talking with Joey Carafas for 25 minutes before Steve got back to the trailer. And then later that afternoon, I was sitting up watching qualifying for the 250, and Joey Carafas comes up and sits down next to me. He's like, I know you're going to know who's out there, because it was Actor then, and he didn't know all the guys. And since then, a couple more times, like the next year at the 250, I'm sitting watching qualifying, Joey Carafas comes up and sits down next to me. And then, lo and behold, you start going, and now he's involved with a mod team. Now I start going to Lee or here or wherever, and there's a mod race, or he's at a race and I'm there, and he'll see me and he'll be like, hey. and we exchange birthday greetings on Facebook and stuff like that, and he knows who I am. Not that I'm anybody, you know what I mean? But to have somebody that you respected and somebody that you watch growing up as a kid, align themselves and see you in a different light, it kind of means a little something.
Yeah, it does. It's all good stuff. And like I think you guys mentioned earlier, it opens doors. You get to meet a lot of cool people. And have you had the Perry experience yet, where you get the message, hey, can you do these interviews for me, afterwards? And then you get there and he's already done it, and because he couldn't wait 30 seconds, or he's, hey, can you take care of this for me? And you go to do it, and it's like, oh yeah, Steve picked that up, earlier today. Have you had any of that, or is it just me?
No, I haven't got the he's already done it things. I've got the text message that says, hey, where are you at the Augusta show? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm out in the middle aisle or something like that. And he's like, meet me in the conference room up front. Okay. So I go in the conference room, and there's 3 guys who were champions. I'm not going to tell which time it was, but 3 guys who were champions. He's like, okay, interview these guys, or not necessarily. There was a champion, a track promoter, and he's like, okay, do segments for the show, interview these guys. What do you want me to talk about? I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah.
Ask them, and it's literally like that. You got to work it out.
That's a good answer that you get a lot. I don't know, just wing it.
Yeah.
It's like when we showed up here today, and I sat down with him here at the set, and I said, okay, what are we doing? He's like, I don't know, coming off the segment here. It's like, okay. But I wish sometimes people could see how this production is all put together, because what is in front of us here is probably not what you think.
No.
It's not lavish, but it gets the job done.
Right.
And seriously, 400 shows. I don't know of any other local shows that have been on that long and been able to maintain the longevity. So, all kidding aside, he does work hard at it, and he has the best interests of the sport at heart.
I mean, there's so much.
We had to say that.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that we talk about that is literally off the cuff that we're thinking about. But there is a lot of planning that goes into it, and literally, this time of year when the shows are going on, I don't know how the guy does what he does. Well,
it's a labor of love for him.
Yeah, it has to be.
So one of the big events this past week was the Pass Banquet. Any exciting news come out of that or anything? The Pass Series, Sportsman Series is done.
Yeah,
correct?
it's pretty much done. I think Tom pretty much said, it's done, but I think I wasn't honestly paying attention because I was a little upset about the Sportsman Series being done. And I understand Tom's position on the deal. It's not, I don't fault him for that. But I thought I overheard him say that he was hoping to put together a few races, this year. But
that would be good, because like the team that you helped, the Naughty team, they have 2 of those cars.
Yeah.
Joey Pastore has a car, Nate Levitt. I think Joey's coming back to Beechridge and run the Pro Series car. But I'm just curious, what do you think guys will do with those cars? And obviously, they're
very similar to what Wiscasset runs.
That's a 100-lap race gone from past 400 weekend now, unless they put something together with
who knows,
just the Beechridge cars. And the camping for the Oxford 250 this year, something new.
It's been a long time coming.
It
that's
has
all
been.
I'm going to say about it.
I know it's been discussed, for a year or two. However, Tom has owned the track, and sounds like it's going forward with that now. And
I think it needs to happen, and I think it's been a long time coming.
It was inevitable.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Yeah. So we got to end this at some point.
Mercifully, probably. We've probably put half of the state to bed already. So.
They're all like, "Hey, where's Steve?"
Yeah. Who are these clowns?
Yeah. So, we'll be right back with this 400th edition of Mainly Motorsports.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf.
And I'm Dan Wolf. We've been selling and servicing vehicles on Route 25 in Gorham since 1972.
Wolf Auto Service offers state inspections, tires, brakes, and suspension.
21st Century Motors has a great selection of cars and trucks starting at $29.99.
With no mortgage and low overhead, we sell and service at guaranteed lowest prices.
We're just 6 miles west of Turnpike, exit 47 on Route 25 in Gorham. Online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
We've got the car you've been looking for at OT Motor Sales. Shop online at otmotorsales.com.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
And we're here again on the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports, and we've caught up with Carol Hill. Carol Hill is a name you've heard a lot on this show because Steve Perry absolutely tortures this poor woman. She is taking a lot of abuse for things from Steve over the years, and she wanted to chime in, and perhaps she wants to congratulate him on 400 episodes, or perhaps she doesn't.
Steve, I do want to congratulate you on 400 shows. It's awesome. We've been together a long time, and if I hadn't spent so much money at the auction for Maine Vintage Race Cars, I'd have bought you all the tires for the first race at Oxford. Congratulations.
Hi, this is Laura McKegg. I just want to congratulate you, Steve, on your 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports.
And we're here now with Scott Mulkern, Pro All-Star Series driver, former Beech Ridge Motor Speedway track champion. And Scott's going to chime in on the 400th episode here of Mainly Motorsports.
Hey, great job, Steve. Congratulations. We all appreciate it. Put a lot of hard work into that, and congratulations.
We're here now with legendary car owner Dick Fowler and Maine racing legend Mike Rowe here on the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports.
I'd like to congratulate Steve Perry on his show over the years. It's brought a lot to the local racing. Congratulations, Steve.
Yep, I agree with what Dickie said. Congratulations, Steve, and I hope you have a lot more.
And we're here with Carl Fredrickson from Dick Bergman's Speedway Illustrated. And Carl would like to make a comment on the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports.
Steve, congratulations on 400 episodes. Your dedication, passion for the sport, and keeping the racer, the race fan, and these racetracks as the best interest has been a hallmark of you and your television show. I'm proud to know you, and congratulations.
We're here with Hall of Fame inductee to be, Sandy McKinnon.
Well, it's great to be here. Last year was my first year, and I'm back this year, and I'm so honored to be going into the hall, and I would say Steve kind of helped along the way to get me there, and he puts a pretty good show together. So I just arrived, so I'm going to be looking it over now.
And just for the record, Carol Hill wasn't going to buy all those tires, Carol. I have made you so famous in the last month, right? So famous. But no, and you know, and she has. She's a big supporter. She watches, and you know, and Laura. And I remember when I did my Women in Motorsports, you know, and
yep.
You know that Laura was part of that, and then Mulkern, and he's my wife's favorite all-time guest on Mainly Motorsports. I had him one time after the 400, and this is what we spent the whole time. He was like cleaning the dust because we were set up in the pits. I will get Mulkern on again this winter. So, you know, and then obviously, you know, having Dickie and Mike and Carl Fredrickson, and I've talked a lot about motorsports with Carl Fredrickson over the years, you know, and he sees and understands what I do and how. And I don't want to say I work hard. Don't lay there in bed thinking this poor guy, poor Steve. Don't poor Steve nothing. All of Steve's problems are self-inflicted, right? Am I right? I am the most accountable person you'll ever meet because I don't blame anybody. It's all my problem. But like I said, it'll be a wild ride. Just hang on. and it is good. And I love just seeing who Dan went out and reached at and found. And then Sandy McKinnon, I still don't know if Sandy knew where he was. Dan's trying to talk about the 400th episode of Mainely Motorsports, and Sandy's talking about his second trip to the Northeast Motorsports Expo. So we're off a little bit, off kilter, but yeah, and that's because of Sandy McKinnon, because of racing, I should say, brought me Sandy McKinnon. We've had Sandy on the show a couple times. I know the last time we had on there, Dan he sent me a text message. He's like, I could have listened to him all night. I go, God, I thought we were going to have to, but he loves it. The sport, what it is today.
And some of those,
because of guys like Sandy.
Yeah, some of those older guys, they just have so many stories and so much to tell. And sometimes you just got to sit back and listen to them because you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, nope, you're absolutely right. And, like I said, I can't thank Dan enough and everybody involved. And take a break.
I had gray hair before we started this show, before I started working with you. Maybe it was you, not my girlfriend, that gave me the gray hairs.
I've been known to give them, not get them.
I'm just wondering.
I love giving grays. We're going to take a break, come back, we'll hear a few more thank yous. And really ain't good because there are, in the consensus world, some people think that this is all about me and the whole thing. And it really isn't, right? Is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. We're right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 9 locations in Maine.
I did not grow up in the car business. I started as a technician in a small garage, and now lucky enough to own my own dealership. I think buying a new car should be hassle-free with pricing up front. We like to negotiate with everyone the same way. Our goal is for our customers to feel good and make it easy and quick if they so desire. We pay our sales staff to help satisfy your needs, not to collect a traditional commission.
Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Maine's only Viper dealer, Route 1, Saco.
Award season event is going on now.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
We're back here on the special 400th edition of Mainly Motorsports, and I've caught up with a couple of really young fans here. And I've got Daniel McKegg on my left, Sean McKegg on my right. Daniel, what do you think of Mainly Motorsports being on for 400 episodes?
That's great.
Do you think he'll make 400 more?
Probably.
Sean, what do you think?
It's good, and he probably will make a little bit more than 400.
Now I got to ask you guys, do you think he'll be like really old when he gets to number 800?
Yeah. Slightly.
We're here now with longtime Maine racing supporter Peter Prescott, and Peter would like to speak on the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports.
Yeah, I think I want to say to Steve, congratulations for doing 400 episodes. That really helped everybody and really been a great thing. Thank you for doing that.
Well, this is Greg Emerson, and I just want to congratulate Steve on 400 episodes of Mainly Motorsports. It's been a good time. I'm proud to be part of it. I'm glad you chose me to jump on with you sometimes. And here's to however many more you decide to stick me on with. So, yeah, just congrats on that, and let's enjoy the ride while we can.
We're here now with Wayne Elston.
Hi, I'd like to congratulate Steve Perry for his 400th Mainly Motorsports show.
Hi, I'm Scott Blake. I'm owner of the 21 Super Late model, and I just want to congratulate Steve Perry on his upcoming anniversary. Thank you.
Hey, we're here right now at the Northeast Motorsports Expo, and we've caught up with Steve Tapley. And Steve Tapley would like to say a little something about the 400th episode of Mainly Motorsports.
Hey, Perry, congratulations on the 400th show, and I hope you get another at least 400 more to go. Good luck, man.
So the only one that Dan Walker missed was Lyman. I want to hear what Lyman had to say about me. Oh, you know what? Lyman's going to get his own segment. I'm bringing Lyman on the show. Dan forgot him. No, Lyman will come on here.
You think he will?
Well, of course he will. Lyman, as much as Dan and Laura and now the boys do for the sport, Lyman is the true.
He does.
He's the ultimate. And, you know, so Lyman, you'll get your shot right here on Mainly Motorsports. And another one that was in that one, and I don't know how many people know this, but Peter Prescott is the real reason that I own the Northeast Motorsports Expo.
I know this story, so I don't know if you want to tell it.
Well, you know, Tim Attaya had come to this decision that he was done. Him and his wife were done with the show and was looking for a new buyer.
Well, how many years did Tim do it, though, honestly?
He did 20. So
Right.
21st was going to be his last one. So it
Right.
was the 20th show, he made the decision.
Which is a lot of years.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of commitment.
You know, I mean, think of anybody that's been married 20 years. It's like 3 life sentences. So you take, he had 2 people that he was talking to about, did I say that out loud? Oh, sorry. He was talking to Doug White, Bill Ryan.
I think Steve's been into doing his taping of his 400th.
They both were very interested in the show. So Tim, because Peter is, you know, his family and his businesses, big supporters of the event with advertising, marketing, sponsorship. He went to Peter and asked him, you know, his thoughts on would one be better than the other, and he didn't think either one of them would be good. He said, you know, you need to find somebody that, you know, just does it all, isn't tied to one racetrack and just does, you know, was worried about them all. He says, like that guy that's on that TV show. So,
so it was Peter Prescott who put you in the hole.
Yeah, Peter Prescott. You know, but no, and I've become, you know, and I respect Peter. Peter, you know, when I have some questions and, you know, when any ideas, he's one of the first guys I bounce them off.
Yeah, and it's obvious what he's done for the sport anyway.
Yeah.
But still, with the show, I mean, so many years with Tim, but he continues to do that with you.
Yeah.
You go in the door to the left, there it is.
Yep, no,
So-
exactly. So, you know, like I said, it's been so fun. I mean, 400 doesn't seem possible. I mean, I look back at show number 91, and I thought it was easy. And Chris Marco, he looked like the dog off the Shaggy DA. You see that at the beginning, his hair was down, and I'm like, I don't know if I gave him the money. I think I offered him the money to get a haircut for the next week, you know. So, but you know, I think next week, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have Marco and Crawford on. See if I can get a phone interview with Amanda. Those are my next, you know, John Crawford obviously started this gig, and see what they have to say and where it is now. And, you know, I know they don't follow it like they did when they were part of it, but obviously without John and them guys and anybody, you guys today. So take a break. We'll come back and recap number 400, and then we'll, where do we go after every show, baby?
401. Rapid race.
Oh, yeah.
Get the right car at the right price. OTMotorsales.com.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Well, once again, Greg, thank you for all you've done to get me to episode 400. And I'm not stopping now. I mean, we're changing up. We've got some new ideas. I've told you what I want to do, and I think we're going to take this show to another level. We're not Nesson, we're not ESPN, but we can have that little bit more professional look. And,
you know, and that's one thing about it is some people ask us, like, ask me anyway, and I've talked to you about this a little bit before, ask me, like, serious questions about the show, and they don't get it. Okay?
Yeah.
We're having fun.
Oh, I really do enjoy myself.
If you hang out with the two of us,
and I've met so many great people, and there's nothing better. And it is, you know, and it just happened to me at the Augusta show. I met this little girl when I went to Oxford to sell raffle tickets. Don't forget to buy your raffle ticket for the raffle car. I had to get that little shameless plug.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
So her dad brings her over and says, "You know who this is?" And probably 3 years old, says, "Oh." She goes, "I see him on TV." So she takes a picture with me, all happy. Whatever. But, I mean, I love making a woman's day. You know that.
what?
Well, let me finish my story.
Okay.
She comes to Augusta with that picture and wants me to sign it. You know what I mean? And I've been sitting at Beach Ridge, and just when, and I'm telling you, just when I get so frustrated because the advertising dollars isn't there and something's going on, I'm like, you know what, need new equipment. I'm like, I've had it with this. I really have had it with this. Something like that happens, or sitting at Beach Ridge and the little girl comes up and says, "Mr. Perry, would you sign this for my grandfather?" You know what I mean? Like things like that. It's like, I'm nobody. Like I said, I'm,
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like the kids, you know what I mean? Everybody says it's for the kids, but for the most part it isn't. It's for our own selfish reasons.
Except for, it's for the kids except for when there's basically a teenage boy running a wheelbarrow race or whatever they call it around a track to try a Unity, and you cleaned him out to win the race.
Remember that? The whole family wanted to kill me, didn't they? But who cares? It was all about the win.
No, but I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. We both see it. I do want to tell you one thing about the list of names and stuff like that was on there. One person that we were, because Dan had talked to me a little bit about it, that we wanted to get, but we couldn't because he left the show, was Mikey. We wanted to get Mikey on there to welcome you to episode 400.
Holy, yeah, dude, I had to turn the volume down, but there's because of Mainly Motorsports, it's brought people like Mikey Finnemore into my life. You know what I mean? And, and for the Kyle Bushes that I've had sit on the set and do a segment here, it means as much to me to have the Mikey Finnemores to sit on the set.
Right.
And I'll give the command a gentleman start your engine. So, but no, and I really, like I said, from the sponsors to everybody that views the show, I mean, I know it's shocking that we made it to show number 400. But we ain't stopping, Greg.
It's only 400. The Daytona 500 is 500
We're going.
miles.
What's our next goal? 500?
I guess.
So 2 years, if you can.
Have you seen the size of us and how great a shape we're in? Maybe we should shoot for 25s.
You can put up with 2 more years of this, and I promise it won't be many 2 more years of Greg and Dan sitting here just like you, were like, oh my God, slip my wrist, or pull me. Is there a car coming by I can jump out in front of? I was like trying to suffocate myself, so I can imagine what all the viewers. No, really, you guys did good. You're all right. You know what I mean? So
now he's lying to me.
Oh no, you did all right, Greg. Wow. You know, it reminds me of them songs when I was a kid. Them used to be them funny freak songs. Wow. So anyway, but no, really, thank you for everybody that's played a part in getting us to 400 shows. I don't know if we'll go 400 more because, I mean, obviously I'm not in the best of health. I got a goal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We should go 25
when I was in the
or 50s.
When I was in the 4th grade, I set a goal to make 50. I got a year and a week, and I'll be 50. After that, it's game on. All right? So for Greg, Dan, everybody that gave me their 2 cents or 10 cents worth, I appreciate it, and we'll be back next week. I promise you, with episode 401.